In marching band, it's the choice to go left or right. It's the choice to memorize your dots or just fake it and go towards a direction. In life, it could be the decision whether or not to invest in this or that, or the decision to date this person, or to just be friends with this person, or to bring this person a cup of coffee or not. In terms of high school band directing, do you choose to keep your job or go after something that makes a lot of sense for you and your family? Welcome to Rocky Point Vlog, where my goal is to help you by sharing my experiences throughout marching band, drum corps, and now high school band directing. Roll the intro. Woo! It's been a crazy few weeks for me. A lot of things have happened. In particular, we're preparing for our spring concerts. Marching band auditions have happened at Panther Creek. It's been pretty crazy. But one day, out of the blue, I get a phone call from my high school band director back home, and he said, I don't know if you're happy or what, but I just thought I'd let you know that this job 30 minutes from where I grew up, from where he's at, is coming open as the head band director of a school. And I was very hesitant immediately because I had already set my mind. I'm staying at Panther Creek. I love these kids. I love the parents. I'm just having a great time. I was kind of like, yeah, I'm listening. He's telling me and knowing, I'm just like, yeah, okay, it's just information. But then I went home for the remainder of spring break after Disney. I spent time with my family, and in the back of my mind I'm thinking about my parents aren't getting any younger, and I'm spending so much time away from them. And because of the way my dad's health is at the moment, neither my mom nor him have been able to come down and see any of the things I've been doing live and in person. They've seen videos I've sent them and they've been super supportive, but they just, it's really hard for him to travel that far and be away for that long. It's already a 4-hour round trip plus whatever time they spend here, so it's quite a lot. And so, without getting into too much detail, that kind of planted the seed of, whoa, I really have a tough life decision to make. I felt dedicated to these kids, and I still do. And I've poured my life into them as I've taught them music. But then again, there's my family and my home. So it was decision time. I said, I consulted. Whenever you're making a life choice, my advice is, number one, consult all of the wisest people in your life. Your mentors, your best friends, assuming they're wise. Hopefully you have really great taste in best friends. And your parents. And after that, you need to weigh in their biases too. Friends and parents said, take the job back home. People down here, I should stay here. You could inherit greatness. But it was still, none of that made it that much easier. I got the pros and the cons, and either way I looked at it, I was losing something and gaining something else. Either way, you cut the cake. So eventually, I did make this decision based on everyone's advice. At least apply for the job. If you don't hear back from them, then great. Easy decision made. Well, that didn't happen. I did hear back from them. They called me in for an interview, so I discussed it with the head band director there just to let him know what was up. And I just took the interview. And again, it was another thing, is if it didn't go well, then no worries, no decision to be made. It did go really well. And at that point I was back to square one. And part of me knew, everyone was like, they're going to call you Monday. It was over the weekend that I'd done the thing, and then it was the weekend, and then I was like, yeah, they're going to call me on Monday. I need to have an answer, and I don't currently have an answer. And if you know me, I put my faith in the big guy upstairs, and his son, Jesus. So, did a lot of praying, asking for like a sign, an answer, and I didn't really get one. So I called one person that I thought would be unbiased. It was my professor when I was at UNCG of music education, Dr. Walter, shout out to you. She basically told me it was a no-brainer. And despite my loyalty and love for these kids, I pulled the trigger. Something told me to pull the trigger on taking the new job. And I struggled with this decision for many weeks. Tore myself apart, really. But I called him back and said, I'm all in. I'm going to take the job. And that's when God showed me the sign. Is that Friday I got called into the principal's office and was basically told that they can't guarantee me a job for next year. Right now, my job is 75% pay as an assistant band director. And they just, with a new school opening up, they couldn't guarantee any of that based on numbers and staff they had to cut. And I was, at that point, I took it as a sign, and it was really, I wouldn't say easy, but it made the decision, like it confirmed that I made the correct decision. Because if I had stayed, that meeting I would have left feeling very differently. And I'm not saying that every decision in your life is going to work out this way, where you take a chance and it's right. Again, it's a chance. This time it just happened to be the right thing, exactly what it was supposed to be. So next, the hard part was telling my students, which I'm sure you're watching this right now. And I did it at the marching band kickoff meeting because everybody was in the same room, and I felt like I didn't want it to trickle from class to class. I wanted to explain it in front of most students, and then talk about it more the next day in all 4 of the classes. And it's I still struggle with the thought of leaving, but I know it's gonna happen. Contract's up on June 12th. I think I described it as it's sucky, but really exciting, because the band program that I am inheriting, for the lack of a better term, the previous band director has been super supportive, and he has laid the groundwork for me to come in and carry the gauntlet even further. And I'm so excited about that experience. I've been pouring my heart out into designing their show, and getting to do this by myself. I mean, there's a whole team of people supporting me, but getting to be the band director. But part of me, again, it's going to be really hard to leave. Right now, this video is being published right after I conduct my final concert. at Panther Creek. And the band banquet is coming up, and it's, I guess this video is kind of like a kind of a goodbye almost to them. So excuse me if you're not my regular audience, or if you are my regular audience. I guess you kind of know that I do this. You know, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, because this decision has never have I ever experienced where I could say yes or no and it changed so many people's lives that fast. And I took some time this week to notice some of the littler things, like walking down the hallway towards the band room, checking out, my, the joint office I have with DR, and listening to rehearsals, and conducting the heck out of pieces. That wind ensemble piece, I'm sure, because after the fact, I'm filming this before, I'm sure I was a wreck during it. And I'm so proud that I got to spend a year with all of you amazing students. You have a great thing going here. I'm so glad that I could affect you in my short amount of time here. Your thank yous, your cards, your letters, all of it, you don't know how much it means to me. In fact, I keep a letter, one that has really spoke to me. I just keep it, you can't see it, I don't want to move the camera for the fear of unframing the shot, but there's a letter from Christmas time up there, and I keep it on top of my dresser, along with the Trumpet Starbucks gift card mold that says 3rd time's the charm. They'll only get that. But thank you guys. I feel, I have taught you because I'm your teacher, but you've also taught me so much. I've become a much better band director because of you in this first year, and if you think for a second that I'm just going to forget you, you are completely wrong, because I wouldn't be making this video about choices and hard decisions if it wasn't for you. So, like I've always said, thank you, because you don't know what you do. It is awesome to get to stand in front of you every day, and you guys are great musicians, and you're gonna grow up to be great people if you keep, working as hard as you do. So it's been a joy. And to my new students, I'm super excited to get to start working with you and start building what's already had a great foundation put down. And remember, especially new students that are watching this was not a decision I made easily. So get ready to work, because here we grow. Back to everybody, if you're still with me, thank you so much. Decisions, they are difficult, but inevitably we have to make them, or they're going to get made for us. So my advice, again, think long and hard about it. If I'm giving you personal advice, pray about it. Consult the wisest people in your life about it, and eventually just make the decision. Whatever feels the most right. And either way, you're probably going to lose something. Like, words can change, yes or no can change the course of history. Whatever you go with, you can't regret, because the past has happened and it's been great. you have to make a choice for the future, because the present and the future are the only things you can change. It's the only things you have the power to change. I'll leave you with a quote. There are two things in life we should never ever be mad about: the things we can change and the things we can't. I hope you've enjoyed listening. I sort of rambled on. There wasn't really a script in any of this. Again, if you found this video helpful in any way, YouTube's algorithm really likes it if you give it a thumbs up, and if you didn't like it, then that other button will do just fine. If you have any questions, comment below, and yeah, we hope to have a more cheerful video up for you, and by we, I guess I still mean me, a more cheerful video up for you very soon. So, I guess until next time, we'll catch you guys later.